everyone. I welcome you all to the new episode of Interview Experience by I Love Metallurgy. Today we have special guest Surabhi ma'am along with us. Ma'am had recently got double placement in Vedanta and Alstom. So many congratulations to you, ma'am. Ma'am, could you please give us short description about yourself?
My name is Surabhi and I am a final year student of Mechanical Engineering in NIT Jamshedpur.
Okay, ma'am. What will be your job profile in the company both in Vedanta and Alstom?
In both the companies, I have been recruited as a graduate engineer trainee, and in Alstom there will be a 12-month training period, after which we will be assigned as, I guess, manager, and in Vedanta it will be of 6 months training, and then we'll be assigned as assistant manager.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, as a viewer know about Vedanta, but this company Alstom, many of the viewer are unaware of this company. So, ma'am, could you please give a brief little bit about description about the company?
Okay, so Alstom Transport India basically deals with rolling stock projects like metros in Delhi, Kochi, and Chennai. It manufactures as well as maintains railway components, and it's basically a French multinational company. And it has 6 industrial locations and 2 main engineering locations in India. And we have verbal reasoning and logical reasoning. So for all that, you can prepare from Arun Sharma as well as India Bix, and even from mechanical and technical questions, you can prepare it from India Bix, as well as from interview perspective. Just knowing the subject won't be as helpful, because you have to be able to express and explain whatever you know. So for that, some YouTube channels like Yourpedia Education is.
What is the selection procedure in your company, like both in Vedanta and Alstom? How the interview rounds were taken?
So for Alstom, the form filling happened on 4th of September, and after that there was a test 2 weeks later, and in the test was happened through online mode on Hire Pro, and it consisted of quantitative aptitude, logical and verbal, and data interpretation, and technical test, as well as a psychometric test. I currently do not remember the weightage of each section, but the questions were comparatively easy. They are not that difficult that you for preparing for the online test, you don't have to go over all the concepts. You just have to brush up the basic knowledge. The questions that are asked are really objective. They are not never subjective. So you don't have to prepare for numericals or really tough numericals. You just have to brush up over everything that you know, that you have studied for the past 3 years. And before attempting exam, I will strongly suggest you to go to the website of whichever platform that the test is being held on, and go through its syllabus. But usually really few questions are asked, so I will strongly suggest you to go through the syllabus of the website of the test. Then you can prepare for it better, and also sample questions are available on the website as well. So for Vedanta, sorry, I got into okay. So for Alstom, after the online test, almost everybody was selected for the GD round, and in GD they are skills in group dynamics. For GD, you don't have to be the most well-spoken person. You don't have to be the first person to speak or the last, all whatever it goes. GDs are not that difficult. You just have to listen to everybody, and you have to. If you are good at communication, you don't have to be. Don't have to use flowery words. You like well versed, but you just have to have basic communication skills, and you will be after that GD only few were rejected. Almost everybody got selected even for the personal interview. And in the personal interview, the personal interview happened the same. For personal interview, you have to be prepared for at least two subjects should be like you should be able to answer every question from. And if you have whatever you have done in the summer has a lot of importance, be it a summer intern or a vocational training. It is of, I'll say, and for at least in my case, my internship and the experience was like it was the uh, you know the whole interview went on how my summer intern. And yeah, that's it about Alstom. And about Vedanta, so the same procedure happened. What happens for Alstom? So even in that, the questions were not that difficult. In Vedanta, the exam. So when you get the examination link, test link, you should go to the website and see what is the syllabus and what is the pattern of the examination beforehand, before attempting the exam, so that you are not anxious or you don't worry. And the same sections were there: quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, verbal ability, and the technical knowledge. And after that, in half of the people were only shortlisted for Vedanta. And there was a GD round where it was an unstructured GD round. And after that, there was a personal interview. And again, GD and personal interview happened on the same day. And we also got the result. In our case, we got the result a day later. But in Vedanta, what happens that it was happening as like one branch was getting interviewed one day, and the another branch was getting interviewed the another day. So for civil, so even in that interview, they asked me again questions about a few of the technical subjects. Okay, he asked me what are my favorite subjects, and I personally like mechanics of solid, so I chose that. And after that, he asked, uh, and he'll ask from whatever you have written in your. So if you are lacking in I'll say CGPA, and if you do not have you're not that sure of your technical knowledge, I'll suggest that maybe some certifications, or you should really prepare your projects. You should revise whatever you have done in your project really well. uh, like a few of the technical questions that are asked are really basic, and almost everybody can answer them. So if you have a certain certification, or if you have done an online course, that can add more. So in my case, in both of the cases, internship helped. So I will strongly suggest you to do your summer intern or vocational training with a lot of effort, and put a lot of, and because it won't just help you into getting a job in the place you're but as well that knowledge can help you in getting jobs in other companies.
Ma'am, there is one question like core company visit the campus at the later phase. So how to maintain a good temperament, as we know that this company will be visiting our campus in the later phase, and many of the students, those who are inclining towards non-core, they might be getting placed. So how?
Few companies also visit the institute in the early. So like obviously placements are something that you might get a lot of anxiety about. There will be ups and downs. So just have faith. If you look at the statistics of our institute, it's quite good. Almost everybody gets placed. So have faith in our institute. And there will be ups and downs. And a few companies like ExxonMobil, they come in the earlier stages of placement season. Again, and a few companies keep coming in the earlier stages. A lot of companies like Vedanta came in the December.
Okay, ma'am. Are there ample opportunities in core?
In my like second year or third year, I was really disheartened when I saw a video on YouTube, and it said that there is barely any chance in mechanical engineering, there is barely in core sector, and if you don't get extremely good grades, or you don't crack a gate, you might not get a job in core. But from my personal experience, that is not the case, and a lot of there's ample opportunities. The uh, the package, I'll say, at times are not as exciting as they are for you can later you can switch your job, you switch your company, and
Okay,
so
ma'am.
yeah, whichever job you take, you should, first job you should focus on
Ma'am, how significant is the role of CG in the interview?
the CG doesn't matter in the interview. Although if you have a good CGPA, impresses the interviewers, but it is essential if companies like if we consider, if you're talking about PSUs, then they mostly shortlist. I do not intend to dishearten somebody by saying this, but they usually shortlist people based on CGPA. They usually even after interviews they recruit based on CGPA. So if you're keen into getting into PSUs, I'll suggest, and if your CGPA is not satisfactory for you, I'll suggest you to prepare for GATE and keep preparing. Okay, you might have to put in extra effort, and a few companies, like as I've observed, that companies from like Tata Steel, Tata Motors, they do recruit based on CGP. But again, there are a lot of companies, like for example Alstom and Vedanta, I'll say that they do not look at the CGPA. They do not think of it as the only criteria to judge a candidate. I uh, I'm also an average student, and still I was able to get into these companies. So it's not like if you don't have a good CGP, you won't be able to get placed in good companies. But if you do not have good CGPA, you should be able to compensate. So if you are doing a summer internship, please do it offline. And even if you are doing a vocational training, I'll strongly suggest you to at least visit the factory. So, and keep in constant contact with your do talk to your guide. And like if I have to give example of my own project, so it was based on the so my project was to look for the reasons it failed, uh, and how to replace it or how to mend it. That was my project. So during that I gained a lot of practical knowledge, only even by conversing to my guide. And everybody he suggested, like he recommended, okay, you should talk to this person from this department. So from that I gained a lot of technical knowledge, a lot of, and one another thing, like I told you about certification. Like strongly suggest that the few months that you are getting as vacation, you should do some kind of certification from Coursera or from edx. And even if you do not want Coursera has so you can avail that. Or if you do not want to do a certification like that, if you don't want to wait for 15 days, or if you don't want to put in money, you can also do it from YouTube. Nobody is going to check your certificates. If you are able to mention something, and if you are able to prove that you okay, even if I have a certification, if I and I mention it and I'm not able to explain it, it is of no use. So if I'll suggest, if you want to get into a core sector, you should get a certification in these can add a lot of
Okay, ma'am. After listening to you, we can conclude that in a nutshell, project always provide an edge in the interview. Apart from that project thing, what are other thing in which one person can start working in order to?
as I said about certifications. And even in that certification, it's not like you have to do a from website. Like even in our curriculum, there are certain subjects that are not non-technical, that come under humanities, or like we had subjects like industrial math. So those are of a lot of importance. It's not like I had another certification, but it was a part of my curriculum. So I mentioned that as courses as well in my CV. Like usually one thing that happens, that people only add the whatever they have done from outside sources in their CV as skills and certifications, but whatever you have done as a part of your curriculum also count as courses. So if you have done any kind of course in industrial management, like as a part of curriculum, you should be mentioning it. And that actually helped me in the interview of Vedanta. That's why I'm mentioning this, because he asked me what is a bathtub curve, and we had studied that in our classes in operational research. So I had mentioned it as a separate course. So, like, a lot of questions were asked from Six Sigma and curve, like apart from technical. So if you want to, uh, these subjects are a bit easier to learn than completing a whole course in any of the technical subjects. So I'll suggest that you should add these courses. And like, what should be the right courses to add, you can learn about it by listening to other people's experience of the same company. Like, if a person is placed and how their first year goes, you seem like a more eligible, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll suggest you to go through job descriptions in LinkedIn as well, to know which certifications you should be doing. Or on YouTube, you should be listening to other interviews who have already worked.
Dwelling further, ma'am, what was your mindset during the whole selection?
At times you are motivated, and at times you get disheartened when you receive failure. So, or you are a bit anxious if not a ample amount of if you just think that not ample amount of companies. uh, I'll just suggest, like, have faith, have patience, and keep preparing. Whatsoever happens, like, if even if you feel unmotivated, keep studying unmotivated. That's what I'll say.
Ma'am, do you think that soft skills also play a crucial role in the interview?
Yeah, they definitely do, because we are so, I won't say that you have to use flowery words, or you should be like, really, you have to be some sort of Shashi Tharoor, but you have to have basic communication skills. And you should be, if an interviewer asks you a question that you do not understand, just simply pull, okay. And you should be confident, not overconfident, but confident. Like, if you are doing some course, and if you have to if you are showcasing, then apart from just using the definitions that have been provided on the internet, you should try to explain it. Your language should be as simple as, okay. You should have good understand, and it should, the confidence should, showcase that you have you should keep it just simple, and just you have to talk politely.
Ma'am, at what point a person can see that their inclination is towards core or
Like, you enjoy studying core subjects, then you know that you like core more. And if you're in second year, even if you're in third year, I'll suggest you to explore everything, all the domains. Like, there is a lot of information on internet. So, and like, I won't say there's uh, you can learn what is going for any job, in either be it core or non-core. You can learn the nature of the job by talking to your seniors who have already worked for a year or two in the company. You should approach someone from LinkedIn, or if you have a good network, that's fine. But if you do not, you can just approach someone from LinkedIn. In my experience, I found that seniors are usually really just happy to help you. Okay. And you can, okay, even in the core sector, it's not like we cannot use a SQL. It's not like we won't have any. So some of the non like data analytics skills are also. So actually, you won't know, you just by the job description, you won't be able to find out that whether you like it or not. You can do an internship in a company and find your calling. That can be one of the things. or you should talk to your seniors and should really consider what kind of life do you want. For example, if you get into non-core, uh, like there will be a different kind of mental pressure. As if you get into coding, then the frameworks. I am not that good at web development, but whatever it happens, like it keeps changing, so you have to stay like updated with that. There is one thing. And in data analytics as well, you will be getting work, and you have to work in an office. Core, I'll say, if you want to really enhance your managerial skills, if you want to get, then joining a core company as a manager, like will do the trick for you. Like the core in core companies you have to work, okay, and in core companies you have to work in shifts, like for 8 hours. You can look at interviews and you can decide what kind of life you want, what how you want to be shaped. So I'll just suggest that you should listen to other people say.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, as you chose core as your career, so uh, like there must be certain topics while preparing for the core department that one need to focus on more. So could you?
Okay, so usually from I can only talk from the perspective of a mechanical engineer. So we usually get hired. So the topics that are most essential for mechanical maintenance are strength of material, manufacturing. I think manufacturing and material science, these are common in so these are the most number of questions I have encountered were from strength of material, manufacturing, and material, and a bit from operational research. There were questions like if a component fails, what are the ways and to find the root cause. So these are taught in manufacturing. So yeah, these are the only subjects that I'll say have.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, in the end, please share some valuable tips for your future budding.
Like again, whatever points I'll be saying, I probably have already said. So these 2 months that you will be going for summer internships or vocational training, do it wholeheartedly. I'll suggest that do not skip it. Or if you have a good CGPA, then things will be more easier for you. But if you do not, then I'll strongly suggest you to do your summer internship and vocational training really, really well, and learn some skills from it. If you're doing a summer intern, like I was doing a summer intern at Tata Steel, and I was really focused on getting the PPO. Okay, and how is how are people slated for PPO? That's a complex process. Nobody can know this. So I was really, really, bent on getting the PPO, but that didn't happen for me. So I got a bit disheartened that, and I thought that my summer internship, maybe it will have of no importance to other companies. I was afraid of that, but miraculous. So I will strongly suggest you to get some practical knowledge from it. You should know about, if a component fails, then how it is repaired. Like every company is looking for someone who has good knowledge in manufacturing. So I'll suggest you should do, and do certifications, do courses. Even if you do not go for certification, even if you do add it to your CV, only if you can and like if you're learning something, learn it wholeheartedly so that you can make use of it, and nothing you do or nothing you learn will be of waste. Okay, everything that you learn will come hand. Okay, even if you learn data analytics, I know a lot of seniors and I'll say even a few juniors. So they did in the core project, and they used Power BI and to automate the results, and it was it impressed whoever the judges were for the for the presentation of the project. So even if you learn SQL, it can benefit you in your core. And what else? And yeah, when you are doing your summer interns and vocational training, uh, go visit the and usually in my experience I found that your knowledge, your practical knowledge weighs more than you.
Yes, ma'am.
And of and before the placement season begins, like a month or two, I'll suggest you from like if 2 months are left, you can study your subjects through NPTEL. You can prepare for them as you are preparing for GATE. But once the placement season starts, I'll suggest you to go through videos of interview questions that will be asked. Usually, the interview questions are not as difficult as we have studied for our exams. Usually, the questions just are to test your knowledge, and there will be only theoretical questions, like there will be only definitions. You will be asked only definitions or types of types of welding. Only questions like that will be asked. So you should go to YouTube channels like and prepare from India. Yeah, that's it.
Ma'am, we
That
are very pleased for such an informative and interactive session with you. Once again, thank you, ma'am. We are very honored to have.
it was an honor for me.
Thank you, ma'am. To all the viewers out there, do subscribe to our channel for more such informative videos and stay tuned. Thank you.